we'll have more on that in just a moment. But speaking of the beach, Holly, we got to talk about the weather because summer is almost here. Official start. We had some hot weather last week and a few weeks ago, but you said it's returning. I don't know.
Well, it's cool this morning. It's cool this morning. If you're watching us right now, 40s and 50s. So well below normal lows, like literally 10 to 20 degrees below. But we will end up seasonal today, highs in the low 80s. Yesterday, we only hit 71. Not that it wasn't beautiful, but that is a bit below normal. So we're going to get into the seasonal range to just above. And today is just nothing but sunshine. So enjoy every second of it. Because tomorrow we're tracking scattered showers and thunderstorms, and we could have some strong to severe storms as we look ahead to tomorrow. Yeah, they'll be kind of on and off throughout the day, and the better opportunity for stronger storms without question is going to be later. But it's definitely going to be a Friday to pay attention to weather-wise. 80s for highs, Father's Day weekend. We have rain chances into early Saturday, then gradual clearing, and it looks like most of Father's Day should be dry. I say most.
Yeah, I was going to say, you said most.
Because there's just an isolated rain chance. It's 20% or less on Father's Day itself. So we should be in great shape for Dad. 80s for highs through the weekend too.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Holly. We appreciate that. And again, if you have any questions about the forecast, it will be posted in the comments section. And of course, you can always check it out, WKYC.com. Okay, speaking of the weather, it's a rain out or really rainy tomorrow, as she said. But today, a great day to hit the beach here in Northeast Ohio. And boy, we've made a top list.
You know, when I worked very briefly. My first job was in Louisville, and somebody there said, "Hey, Cleveland, you're from Cleveland? Best kept secret 3 months out of the year." And it really is. But our beach towns are so quaint. And Wallet Hub, who always does these surveys, they listed, the best beach towns, lake beach towns in America, and 3 of our communities made the top 25. And I'm sure a lot of you can guess some of them, but Rocky River came in at number 13. Beautiful parks there, and then they have some great shopping hubs too, and it's a great community. Bay Village, which I'm partial to, does feel more beach town.
I wonder why.
I might be there a lot. I'm not going to put that out over the internet, but it does have such a very cute Mayberry beach towny feel. I mean, because there's a big, huge Metro Park beach, Huntington Beach there. You see people riding their bikes everywhere. There's always the smell of barbecues and grills going. So they made number 20 on the list, Bay Village, and then Vermilion took the number 24 spot. So Vermilion also, I've been spending a little bit more time in Vermilion lately. Friends, and they decided to get a home in the Vermilion area, and great shopping, great restaurants, great parks, boating. If you're a boater, you've probably been out to Vermilion. There's the Vermilion Boat Club out there. So all of these are great destinations, great day trips too. And I mean, that's just 3 of the many. Ashtabula made the list.
Yeah.
Then there's other places, like we were talking about the islands. I mean, people usually take a day trip out to the islands. There's Catawba, there is Port Clinton. I mean, so we didn't even get into all of those over there. But just a reminder, I mean, we are getting national attention for these quaint little beach towns that do feel so authentic. They're not built up with a whole bunch of cheesy industry. I mean, they're authentic, like mom and pop shops. And stuff like that. So
how about sitting with a glass of wine in Geneva? Another
that's a good
included too. Yeah. I mean, we have our wineries. I feel like that would be also on a winery list too. I mean, I think sitting with a glass of wine in any of these places.
Wow. Sitting with a glass of wine at my desk right now would be
that might make Wallet Hub's list.
Dave's cubicle. You guys want to see?
Do we have sand?
Hold on. Yeah. I'm pointing at the wrong direction. Where am I? Wait.
Hello.
Okay.
There you go. How about that?
No, I'm not. Where? No, that's Jorge.
Did you see me?
No. There's Maureen. I can't even see you. There you go. You have to see
all this plexiglass that we
have.
There we go.
There he is.
Yeah. The plexiglass. It's tough to see.
The station will make the best
everyone. But let me throw in there. I grew up in Bay Village. It's crazy. Growing up in Bay Village, we were always like, so many outsiders came in. Sometimes it felt like not even everyone in Bay Village would go to enjoy it because you just took it for granted. And it's not something that should be taken for granted. I was just there on Sunday, and they've done some construction. What's the word I'm looking for?
They did some renovation.
Renovation.
Yeah. So the concession stands there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So and new bathrooms too. Don't take that for granted because some of
my gosh. If you went to the old bathrooms at Huntington Beach and you have not seen the new bathroom, the old bathrooms looked like they were straight out of a horror flick.
Maureen, you are cracking me up getting excited about these bathrooms.
Yeah, well,
Danielle, you don't know, because I've had toddlers in Bay Village where, and we will go walk to the beach and then it's, Mommy, I have to go potty. And I'm like, not in there.
No.
The ceiling is going to cave in on you. So
oh, no.
Sure it was bad.
One of my favorite things to do on, like, let's just say a Sunday evening is go and you can, I mean, any night, obviously watch the sunset is great there. And now that they've done the renovations and the fire pit and, like Maureen said, the barbecues, it's just really a fun place to go. And Maureen mentioned Vermilion and the lake. I mean, we're so lucky to have all these spots. And then even Cedar Point with the Breakers, I'm a broken record with that one. Did that a couple years ago, and it really felt like you were almost out of town, but still in Ohio. So
not to like cut you off too, but throwing it out, I can't believe Lakewood didn't make the list too with the solstice steps. Have you guys been out there?
I've heard about it, but I have not. I've driven by it. Or I've actually seen it on a boat going by, but I've never gone there physically.
It's so easy. Lakewood Park. My very early childhood was spent at Lakewood Park, and that's another one. Sunset, if you're looking for a good place to watch the sunset, they put a lot of money into the solstice steps, and it's a beautiful place to go. And then Lakewood, I mean, all the fun places to eat and grab a drink in Lakewood.
True. So we have it all here. Mark
you
Taylor.
Need some ideas, you know who to call.
Right.
Party animals.
Okay. Mo, got to put it on the party line here. So Mark, he says Edgewater.
Edgewater's great.
Haven't been there.
Especially with what they've done there, the Edgewater night.
Yeah, how they updated that too as well.
The beach house, yeah.
Yeah, and Shayla, thanks for joining us. Good morning to you. And we also have some other people talking about Huntington Beach as well in Bay Village. So yeah, we have that story posted in the comment section if you are watching live on Facebook as well as on WKYC.com. And Dave, you talked about like, oh, it's great Sunday evening to go have a glass of wine, Huntington Beach and all of those things. But what else is trending on Sundays? Going to be soon, the Browns, and big news out of there with the latest on what Baker Mayfield said.
Yeah, well, there's always trending news with the Browns, right? Whenever they're on the field. Well, I think let's put this into perspective, though. Basically, why this is news right now is because they're on the field practicing, and the reporters have a chance to dig their claws into the Browns right now. So they had the opportunity to talk with Baker yesterday. This is part of a mandatory mini camp. So all of the players had to be there these last 3 days. So it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, obviously today being the third day. Now, whereas in the weeks past, it was OTAs and it was voluntary, every player was there this week. And there's not a lot of drama in Berea right now, which is fantastic.
Ooh,
so
amazing.
Yeah, it really is. After today, they'll take a break for the summer, and then there'll be training camp, which leads into the season. So whenever you get a chance to talk to the Browns, and Baker Mayfield spoke yesterday, of course, they're going to ask him the questions. And until they offer him and they come to an agreement on a new deal, reporters are going to continue to ask Baker about his contract. So he was asked about it yesterday, and he said, hey, listen, there's no rush. He is here to win games. And let me give you the background on it. Baker, the Browns gave him his fifth-year option for 2022. So he is signed through this year and next year, right? But it's only at $18 million. If he's to sign a new deal, his market value will be around $35 million. So that's where it stands now. But if it's a ton of money. And if he continues to improve and do even better, that could climb up to $40 million. So basically, the thought process is this. A lot of people want, hey, Browns, just sign him to this long-term deal. He's the quarterback of the future. But on the flip side, the Browns can say, well, we already have him signed this year and next year. Why rush it? I mean, we've seen both the good and bad in Baker in the last couple of years, right? So I feel like he's proven that he's the guy. But I also understand where the Browns might side on the air of caution and be like, hey, listen, let's see how you do this year. You have all the tools in the shed. If you get it done, we're going to sign you that long-term deal. The Browns basically say no rush. But again, others would say, listen, we finally have a quarterback. I mean, it's basically been, they haven't had a quarterback since they returned in 99. So a lot of people feel like they should just get him signed right now for the future. And, he's really built a culture here. You got to give him credit. So we'll see how this plays out. He said, the old cliche yesterday said everything happens for a reason. So we'll see it. So the bottom line is he is signed through 2022. It's about a bigger contract with much more money. And when will the Browns do that? I think this is something where you're going to, Danielle and Maureen and everyone listening, this is going to be something that is going to continue to be talked about until they finally sign him.
Yeah. So let us know your thoughts. So what do you think in the comments section? We have Shayla Smith. She says she's a big Browns fan, but she doesn't care for Baker Mayfield. I have to say that last season was very exciting, and he took us places we haven't been in a long time, and the leadership that we saw him exhibit out on the field was refreshing to see, and just that no quit attitude and ready just to get out there and do his best each Sunday. I became a fan.
I think also what Dave brought up too about the no drama. Think about how many years that we've had drama, and you can just tell the team's probably not getting along the way they should be. And then to have them click and then also have the talent, it's just evident. So, if I'm Brown's leadership, I want to keep those players together, because everybody knows teamwork is what's gonna lead them into success.
But maybe one of the another things that the organization probably is looking at is, okay, so Baker now has all of his weapons back on the field, and so he has no excuse. It's basically an excuse. He has a full loaded roster. They gave him everything that he needed. So if he does not take it up or take it to the next level and show that he's that franchise face quarterback with what he has, if he doesn't do well, then it really just falls on him. So,
well, I'll throw one more thing out there is that you have guys like, Tom Brady, that's to the one extreme, right? You have Aaron Rodgers. You have guys that are just the elite franchise quarterback, the Peyton Mannings of the, back when he played, and you just know those are the guys. But you also have guys like Carson Wentz, who helped lead he got hurt before the Super Bowl, but he helped lead the Eagles to the playoffs. Everyone thought Carson Wentz, the future was so bright. Now he's on another team. And you could say the same thing about Jared Goff and many other quarterbacks, where it looks like it's all going to be great, but it didn't necessarily pan out in the end. So, that's possibly what they're going to say. Hey, we're going to see if he can do it one more year. Why do the contract now when we know we already have him locked in at a much smaller amount of money? But really, I see both sides of the story here, because like Maureen said, when you have something you haven't had since they returned in 99, bottle it up and keep it, right?
Yeah.
Right. All right.
You know what? Coach Kyle, right now, he would agree with the teamwork and the attitude on the team. And if you have a good group of people getting along, you don't need that one standout. You know what I mean? Like that the feeling of the team is more important than the one standout.
And for those of you who are wondering, Coach Kyle is not Maureen. It is her father, legendary coach.
Then again, Danielle, I did coach little squirts, 2-year-old, 3-year-old soccer. So technically,
I stand corrected.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, thank you so much for joining this edition of the On the Go Post Show. We will